Sorry I took so long, Rex. I was kind of studying the weather maps. Nice to be back on the home court, isn't it? Huh, Steve? Run me over? You gonna run me over, Steve? Yeah. T-Rex, you're next. I gotta carry you. Nice to have the crew back together at home. T-Rex, let's go slow. 44 degrees at 9:30. It's December 16th. It's kind of warm for 9:30. Stop. Stay. Yeah, a little pent-up energy. Thanks for trying. Not. Yeah, Steve loves to go out, and he hasn't been out in days. And T-Rex has been out, but not for weather and more. Look at that. The air is coming from the north. So we are back in cold air advection. New high-pressure system coming across northern New England. Yesterday, driving home, I'll show you some highlights later. The temperature was 55 to 60 near Boston after starting off in the upper 20s. Norwood went from 28 to 58 yesterday from a low to a high temperature. And it was windy yesterday. Wind gusted to 116 miles per hour on top of Mount Washington. I think that's the strongest gust so far this season. And there was new cold air coming back in. So this morning on Mount Washington, we're back down to the upper teens. What a beautiful view from Wildcat looking over at Mount Washington. Savor that image right there. We're going to look at it again on about Wednesday morning if we see the sun next week. There's going to be a major change. Changes are afoot. Changes are always afoot. How far can I go without wind interference? What do you see down there, Steve? The weather stick is kind of pointing up right now. I haven't put birdseed in there in a while. So it's a nice Saturday. Beautiful Saturday. But if you look at the satellite imagery, there's New England in the upper right with the clear sky. And then you see the clouds down to the south. And over the Gulf of Mexico, we have thunderstorms erupting in the central Gulf of Mexico. Almost looking like summertime. And there's a serious tornado threat in Florida today. There's low pressure that's going to ride up the coast. I want to show you the evolution of this first using the jet stream pattern. That is the wind up in the sky. I think this is around 20,000 feet or so. And there's a cutoff low there right in the central plains. If you look closely, there's almost a triple jet. The one in Canada, the one coming down through the central United States, and yet a third down there in the Gulf of Mexico. And we're going to have a phasing of the streams. The northern stream is going to dig south. That cutoff low is going to be captured by the northern stream. And those two are capturing the energy coming out of the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Bahamas. So it's a tropically infused, full latitude trough coming across New England the next 2 days. And then after that, that trough pulls out. You have a strong upper level low in California, and the jet stream recedes into Canada, cutting off the cold in Canada. And that upper low on the west coast is going to push warmer air across the entire lower 48 United States, leading into a mostly brown Christmas. Sad to say. Oh, look at that. That dinghy out there. Remember I said what's going to happen to the dinghy? I think that's the stern of the dinghy sticking out of the water. Oh, well, that'll be an interesting winter watching that. If we can ever get any ice. All right. So I showed you the upper pattern and talked about phasing. Phasing generates major storms. You talking to me? I heard that. The gull heard about me talking about the storms. And the storm warnings in effect in purple on the east coast. So this is all the way from Florida to New England. With the purple, storm warning means we may have winds gusting past 55 knots. What should I show next? All right, how about the high pressure system coming in right now that plays a huge role, really. This is a strengthening high pressure crossing northern New England. It's a 1038 high this afternoon and this evening. Hello, gulls. What do you see? TK talking to the birds. Stick to weather. Stay in your lane. That high moves offshore and it continues to strengthen. So I'm going to show you the I use this as a tropical view a lot of times in the summertime, but it's pertinent now. So let's watch that high move offshore tomorrow, and then I'm going to stop it right at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's a 1045 millibar high pressure system, so it's strengthening as it's going by. And then there's a 984 millibar low pressure system, cyclogenesis, on the South Carolina coast. And all those black lines are isobars, an incredible pressure gradient of nearly 60 millibars over the waters in the western Atlantic tomorrow. And then that high continues off the map, and here comes the low, charging right up as a 975 low. Not quite as powerful maybe as we saw a couple days ago, but incredibly strong low pressure system moving up the Connecticut River Valley. And on the east side of that low, you know, sometimes I talk about how wind up in the sky is going one way and down on the ground it's going another way. Well, on this storm, the wind is all going to be coming from south to north, so it's going to be vertically aligned, and it's much easier to mix down the wind. So here's the wind forecast. This is called the 10-meter AGL, above ground level. 10 meter, about 33 feet. Sustained wind. This is sustained. These aren't gusts. And the red is 30 plus knots. And then you get some yellows, that's closer to 50 knots. So we're going to have 30 to 40 knot winds sustained from the south and southeast along the entire New England coast Monday. Am I going to have to show this again tomorrow? I'm giving you the detailed version today. I don't know if I want to do it all again tomorrow, or you can bear it either. All right, did I show you the surface low from that same perspective? Yeah, I think I did. All right, how about the rainfall? We'll go to the regional rainfall view. Here comes the rain. It's basically tomorrow afternoon, southwestern New England, tomorrow evening, northern and eastern New England. Then it's just torrential downpours with thunderstorms here on our Sunday night and much of the day Monday. It looks like there is a dry slot on Monday, so inland you may get a break of sunshine and some light wind for a time on Monday. That'll be interesting. The 3 to 5 inch rain. 3 inches is red, and then some yellows in there between 4 and 5. That's a QPF, quantitative precipitation forecast. Ouch. Want to see the snow forecast? All right. This actually is a 10-day snowfall forecast. Virtually nothing on the front side. It shows a little bit of snow coming in on Vermont, New York, Tuesday. Not much. I think there'll be more, though, in the upslope areas. I think that's there's more in northern Vermont. And that goes right through Christmas. So what about a white Christmas? I don't see it. Now, I talked about Wednesday. There was a tease on Wednesday. Let's go back to that tropical view and show you what happens here. After this storm goes by, you have the upper level low going offshore, and there's going to be another surface storm. Look at that, really powering up way out there. A lot of wind and rain over the ocean. I guess there's a slight chance that could try and back in. I mean, this will be the 4th Monday storm in a row, and we've had 2 surprises on Wednesdays. So Wednesday, hoping out for a surprise. Holding out, hoping for a surprise. I had prepped a bunch of animated maps. I don't know if I showed them all, but you get the point. It's a major, warm, wet, windy storm. It's going to really bring our spirits down for ski season, but we'll always rebuild. Winter is hardly canceled. There's 3 feet of natural snow in the tallest mountains in northern Vermont. It's not going to all disappear. It's going to shrink and it's going to harden up, and we'll be back at it. At least the weather looks fairly quiet through Christmas. We have that going for us. It never stays quiet from Christmas to New Year's, so something else will be going on. Oh yeah, and there's a new moon, so we're going to get some probably astronomical high tides. And when you get a new moon, it's a high tide in the middle of the day, in the middle of the night. So watch out for some possible coastal flooding and serious erosion on the south side of Nantucket, places like that. National Seashore is going to take a beating from this storm. For me, the wind's going to be going from my back down the hill, so I won't have that big of a problem. We'll see if this flagpole does all right, but the flag will be going in the other direction, so that's our least wind problem around here. The nor'easters get us. And eventually there will be one of those. This one actually is going to be a pretty good storm for the Midwest. They'll get some good snow out of this in Ontario. All right, highlights from the ride home after shooting the snowcast yesterday at the Pickle Barrel. That was a hoot, wasn't it? And then coming back through Vermont and then into southern New England. Couldn't believe how nice it was when we got finally back down here to the Fore River. All right, talk to you again tomorrow. Better changer. Calvin Coolidge, born here, Bridgewater, Vermont. There's a brewery too. We used to stop at Long Trail.
Time, you know, just for me to care for our property. The kind of time I put into that, and then let's go do it up here too. That's where I gotta be so careful.
Oh, you gotta love Christmas decorations and jogging in shorts because it's 50 degrees outside or so. Going through, you know it. Woodstock, still snow on the ground. Check back again here on Christmas. Hopefully it does disappear, it'll come back. Oh, look at that old restyle. Oh yeah, that's a fixer-upper. Huge project, beautiful. The road is sweating because it's a cold road, and now the temperature's gone up and the dew point's gone up, so you have condensation happening. Came by Whaleback about 3-4 days ago, and that one slope there on the left was practically bare, so they're doing some work. They're trying here at Whaleback. Looks like they might have one run, but winter's about to go on break again, sadly. Keep trying. It'll be cold enough again after Monday to turn the guns back on. The most driven by ski resort that we all wave to and say, someday I might go to Whaleback. The pond we went by the other day got a little snowed on Wednesday. It's getting kind of thin. Thin ice. Yeah, beautiful day. Blue sky. Merrimack, New Hampshire. People aren't washing their car. 52 degrees. And we're back over the Fore River, just in time for sunset. 55 degrees in North Weymouth. That's it for and more after Out the Door. Talk to you tomorrow.